This is Pretend Farmer Girl, and I'm finally going to show you my cast iron cornbread recipe. To let you know, I made like 10 different cornbread recipes, and each one we're like, do we like this one? Do we like that one? And it's not like they're that complicated, but that varies with how much baking powder, how much baking soda, you know, whether you grind up the cornmeal or into flour or use the cornmeal. So this is what I use. I watched the Mrs. Wolfe, and she basically said that it shouldn't have any sugar in it, and that's, I think she says, true Southern cornbread. So I'm calling this true Southern California cornbread because we grew up on the packaged Marie calendars with sugar all in it, so to us that's cornbread. So I'm going to mix it all up, and basically the ingredients are a half a cup of sugar, 1 cup cornmeal, 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1.5 cups milk, and 2 eggs. And what you do is you combine the dry and you combine the wet, and then you wait to combine them until the last minute. I'm excited. I'm using my fresh eggs. It calls for 2 eggs, but 2 of my eggs are a little bit on the smaller side, so I'm just going to put 3 in. The other thing that we experimented with is you can substitute yogurt for the milk. So what I do is I usually do like half and half, and I will show you how I make my homemade crock pot yogurt soon. Has a lot of whey in there, and as soon as I drain it off, the chickens absolutely go nuts over it. So I'm going to mix all the ingredients together, and then I will show you how to do it. The other thing that I thought I'd show you is one of the things that I discovered about when I started learning how to can and everything was that it's not just for putting up on the shelf, it's actually for eating. And so many times I come home and I'm like, what's to eat? And I go in on the shelf and I just throw stuff together and we make a nice soup. So tonight, this one is already like a bean soup. And what I do to make it last a little bit longer is I have some canned ham that I had put in cubes that I add in there. These are 2 jars of potatoes, and they are so good canned. It almost tastes like they're roasted potatoes. And then I have some squash from last summer that I'm going to just dump it all in together, sprinkle a little bit of onion and cheese on the top, and it's delicious. So I will be right back. Okay, so I have all the dry ingredients together, and I'll just give it a stir so it's all nice and mixed. And then over here I wanted to show you, I have 1 cup of my yogurt and 1 cup of milk, and then the 3 of the eggs. And I pre-mix the eggs before I put everything else in so it doesn't flop all over the place. But you just mix up the wet ingredients, and what you do is you get the oven going at 425, and then I will show you, you get the skillet hot on the stove and pour the batter in, and it gets all nice and hot and bubbly, and then you put it in the oven. But I also wanted to show you, since I was showing you what I was making for dinner, that I'd made potatoes twice. I've canned them twice. The one on the right was my first attempt, and the one on the left was my second. And the one on the right, you can see it looks starchy, and they don't taste starchy, but it looks very starchy. The one on the left is clear. And the thing that I did different this time is when I boiled the potatoes, you boil them for a few, just a few minutes lightly, and I used fresh hot water to pour over them rather than using the water that I boiled the potatoes in. And so I was really happy with how they came out. Not that they taste any different, but they just look a little bit cleaner, in the jar. So I will be. All right, my oven's on to 425. I mixed up the cornbread batter, and the stove is on. And I know it's a killer, but this is lard. I mean, I didn't mean it's a killer like kill you, but in this day and age where everything's supposed to be fat-free, this isn't. So basically you just get the pan really, really hot. You melt you can use butter, you can use oil, I just happen to use this. And as soon as it gets all melted, then we put the batter in it while it's still really hot. Then, after that, it goes into the oven and cooks for probably about 25 minutes. So, let's see if I can do this. One of the best parts is hearing it sizzle in the pan. I might have to put the camera down a minute, but... Okay, let's see. Oh, my assistant is here. Can you hold the camera for me, please? There we go. Alright. Put it in there, it sizzles. Put it all in there. You let it sizzle for a minute or two, but I have a finishing touch. The sugar. Sprinkle that all over. Oil soaks it up so nicely. There we go. Never said this was low-calorie cornbread. Alright. Now that it's bubbling around the edges, I'm just going to put it in the oven here. And I'll be back in about half an hour. Alright, there you have it. Real Southern California cast iron cornbread. Our soup with some cheese, parsley flakes, and paprika on the top. And I'm starving, and I wish this had smell-o-vision so you could smell how good it is. It's nice and crunchy. It's so good. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. This is Pretend Farmer Girl signing out.